Welcome to Massive Beers. My name is Matt. We do the beer stuff here. Your brewery time. In the form of, what's the name of this brewery? This is Baltika Breweries, St. Petersburg, Russia. I don't know if that's the actual name of the brewery, but this is the Baltic Brew Collection Russian Imperial Stout, 10% alcohol by volume, created by our board of brewers. Yeah. There you go. I gotta sneeze real quick. Excuse me. I shielded you from that with the beer. Know nothing about this brewery. I don't think I've ever even seen anything from them before. I don't know how old this is. I wish I could tell you. I'm willing to guess. This is Baltika beer. Several years old. Only because I bought it off a shelf of Dusty's. It was collected with a bunch of ancient other beers. Like I pulled 2018s off that shelf. I see some things where this is still made, but it's not still made. Anyway, listen, it was $4.99. It's a 10% Russian Imperial Stout. We're going to drink it, and we're going to see what goes on. Now, I've seen this cover, and I've seen other people review this now that I've kind of... not a big hiss in there. It's a little concerning. It's probably just a brewery that I've missed. And they're probably just like some big macro brewery out of Russia. But we're going to drink it. We're going to see what we think about it. Label-wise, I actually really do enjoy it. I think that it is a smart and well put together label. There's something about it reminds me a little bit. Obviously, it looks nothing like Firestone Walker, but there's some kind of like elegance to it that reminds me of Firestone Walker, so I dig on that. As far as the beer goes, let's give it a little taparoo so it don't look as dirty. That looks like a Russian Imperial Stout. Index finger, malted malt ball colored head, dark. Can't really get. I have like a light that's like super bright right here. Nothing. Can't get anything through it. So definitely looks a part of a big, rich, thick old stout. Slide it over here. There you go. That's better. Let's see if we can get a nose. That smells fantastic. Exactly the aromatics I want from Russian Imperial Stout. Chocolate malts, a little bit of baker's chocolate, maybe even a slight little touch of a milk chocolate in there. Nothing too big. Chocolate on chocolate on chocolate, a little bit of roasty toastiness, and more importantly, the cherry. Figurative and literal cherry on top. This cherry cordial thing. When Russian Imperial Stouts have this kind of combination of this cherry chocolate cordial, so that chocolate bits and pieces, that cherry cordial, mix them both together, it is really kind of, for me, what I need to land on. What I do to just the sign of the cross right there. For Russian Imperial Stouts, maybe a little bit of oxidation on it, so I think it has a little bit of time on it. I'm not going to get too hated or hot and bothered on it. Not an overt precursor to bitterness like Rasputin or something like that, so I think it's a little bit more on the traditional side of things when it comes to a traditional Russian Imperial Stout. It just has a really nice nose with that, again, there's a little oxidation, a little bit of that tinny kind of wet metallic thing in there, but again, I'm okay with it, at least aromatically, more than okay with it. We're just going to dive in. Cheers, y'all. I like that. Everything I talked about in the nose is there in the taste. At much more violent levels. But I dig it, man. Wow, I dig this beer. First thing that hits you. Again, cherry cordial to a max. Big chocolate notes. Big cherry notes. Just playing to the heartstrings of this guy when it comes to Russian Imperial Stout. Man, I dig that. It's kind of got a little bit of heat to it too. 10%, not that big of a beer. Definitely has some age on it, but I get a little bit of like heat to it. Again, 10% is not that huge, but I like that it's make me think it's big. Bittering, appropriate. We're not getting to, again, Rasputin levels unless this is 10 years old and it's been tempered. But there's a decent bittering here. A little bit, maybe skosh bigger than what I'd like when it comes to Russian Imperial Stout. But I ain't hating on, especially with how vibrant that chocolate cherry cordial side of things is. I'm okay with having that juxtaposition, you know what I mean? Back and forth between having that sweet and that bitter. There's a little bit of oxidation, a little bit of metallic, a little bit of cardboard. Again, willing to pay that trade-off if I get the beer where it is here because of time. Is this what I drank like minus the oxidation? Did I want it fresh? But I'm willing to guess here, I'm willing to bet here that it got to that cherry chocolate cordial level and that bitter and tempered a bit and kind of ended up vibing into something that I really enjoy as opposed to it being there from the get. So I'm willing to pay that trade-off with that touch of not even close to poopy oxidation. I really like this. Mouthfeel is nice. It's not super thick. It's not super dense, but again, you know you're drinking something full. When I poured it, not a big hiss on it. I was a little bit kind of hoping there would be decent amount of carbonation. As you can see, lacing is beautiful. Carbonation is beautiful. Zero qualms on the end of things. I don't know what this beer goes for. Actually, I'm lying. I'm lying straight to your face. I looked online. This beer averages, from what I've seen, like $5 to $8 a bottle. I got this on a discount shelf for $5. With beers that were absolutely way more expensive than $5. So this is kind of like one of the ones they stuff in there, or didn't even know because I don't think this place has any clue what they have. I buy this all day for $5. You know, because this is not a 12-ounce bottle. What's the... So it's a hair less than 15 ounces. So it's almost a pint in that bottle. It looks like a normal size bottle, but I assure you, we are open and bigger. Man, I dig this. I kind of want to go back to this place and get some more, even just to bring it Beer Tube Palooza, which is like 2 days away. Probably won't post this by then, so it'll be past already. And kind of maybe even mystery beer this up for some people. This would be a fun one to do. Now I'm trying to think, can I make that happen? I don't think I can. The place I got it at is just too far away. Such is life. But man, as far as Russian Imperial Stouts go, really good. You know what this reminds me of? And maybe it could be made by the same place because it's I'm going to drop like a Euro thing here. It doesn't remind me of what they taste like. It reminds me of the vibes. Combs, Komes. It reminds me because I had their barley wine and it had something else from Combs, and their price point, the taste was fantastic. I've had better Russian Imperial Stouts than this. If I throw this on Mount Rushmore Stouts for the past 6 months, yes, I think it makes it. If I throw this on Mount Rushmore Stouts for the past 10 years, I know it's not up there. There are ones that absolutely do me better, but as far as, a price point, basically a pint for $5 in a bottle. Again, did age do something to this that made it turn into something that I think is more fantastical? Maybe there was a date on here in some form or fashion to where I could kind of decipher this. And if you know that exists on one of these, let me know. Yeah. I think this is absolutely 100% a fruit fly heaven beer. And also a fantastic value and a really, really well done aged Russian Imperial Stout. Like I said, no data on this, but I'm almost guaranteeing you there's at least 5+ years of this. At least from my experience, that's my guess. Yeah, I would have zero issues buying this beer over again. I kind of want to buy one if they still make it. Again, mixed signals on it, but if they still make this, I want to try it fresh to see what it's like. But in the grand scheme of things, yeah. Baltika Brew Collection Russian Imperial Stout with age on it. I'm here for it. I dig it. Is it one of the better Russian Imperial Stouts I've had as late yet? Yes. Mount Rushmore status? Yes. We go a couple years down the road, probably on the side looking in. Value and availability, $5 off the shelf. I don't know how. I've never seen it before, so I don't know what that means as far as availability. But I can get some more because they had like 10 of them on the shelf. And leave you with, if you like what we like this beer, if you like Russian Imperial Stouts. Let's put it this way. If you like traditional Russian Imperial Stouts, you like to age them, and you want something that falls between raspy and courage, it's kind of where it sits. I'm not saying it's good as courage. It's definitely not good as Black Albert. But, you know, if you like Old Rasputin, but you wish it was a little less bitter, you like Courage, but you want just a touch more bittering, this is kind of right in the middle there, with a little bit more of a cherry cordial, chocolate cherry cordial hit. If you dig that, you'll dig this. So there you go. Review in the books. Baltika Brewery in Russia. Have you been to the brewery? No, because I've never been to Russia. Yeah, I've never been on a plane. Well, maybe. Anyway, I've never been to Europe. Value to or why did I say that? Value to availability. We already called that. I'm getting giddy because I like this beer. Talk about this brewery. Have you had this beer? What are your thoughts on this beer? Have you had it fresh? Have you had it old? Do you know of a way to date this? I don't know. All that fun stuff down there. Hopefully you enjoyed the review. Hopefully you're enjoying, a little bit of beer right now. Hope to see you next time. Cheers, all.